Welcome back. Where to start? Redefine a good a place as any, with results that say maybe the worst is behind them, but now they have to grow. Here's CEO Andrew Koenig on the local property sentiment.
Occupancy levels will be moved up just over the 93% level. And similarly, from a renewal reversion point of view, which has been under a lot of pressure, we are seeing the trend going forward, going positive, but I think what is important is something you said earlier about seeing a diversified portfolio at work, especially in this area where retail, for example, is doing very, very well.
Yeah.
Last year we had negative reversions of 4%. Now it's positive, only just, but it is positive. Industrial also, it came off a positive base last year, but it's improving even more this financial period.
He's not wrong. I just can't help thinking, David, that kind of we've moved on from diverse retail. We almost want to pick our REITs and build our own diversity.
I think very much. You're gullible. That's why you're saying he's right.
I think you've got to be very careful about where you go into it. You know, it is in pockets, and we're waiting for the big cuts to come. We're waiting for the growth to come. We keep waiting, you know. And I'm a little concerned. I backed property this whole last year, you know. Those were my choices. I did well, but it's starting to look a little bit.
You're sounding skeptical after the massive run. Property's up 50%.
Yeah. No. It's not the massive run. Yes, you're right. It's expensive, but for me, it's management's ability to allocate capital. These guys have not shown themselves to be great at it. And number two is this is the exact same story we were sharing in 2010. The share price hasn't done much since then.
So I'm liking the niche guys. So I'm liking storage. I think Equitas is turning the ship around. I've lost a little bit of trust in management after that whole UK thing, but logistics makes sense to me. And then the guys who are in the more convenience retail space. So Dapula, Fairvest. I mean, you spoke about Fairvest yesterday as well. So it's
I don't even know these places.
Bright was talking about Fairvest. I had to go look it up. I've never known Bright to know a small...
Dapula, I always see it on my screen, but I never knew what it did.
No, so the conclusion is just watch what the share price is doing. Don't listen to any management when it comes to these companies, not just this one.
I want Growth Point to start breaking it up.
Oh, okay.
You know what I want?
That's even more interesting.
I want student, I want health. I want it separately listed. I want to buy that stuff specifically.
That will chase higher
and I think it will be good for the JSE, for the property sector.
They've hinted that they might, but they've been hinting that they might for a decade. Send a WhatsApp, okay, lots of WhatsApps. Altron is the little stock that really can, as results came in strong. Here's CEO Van in the Cap on the numbers.
We are exceptionally pleased by this, by this performance. Revenue, because of comparisons to previous periods, was slightly under pressure, but we expect that to normalize over time. I think, if I think about this performance, there's kind of three things that comes to mind to me. I think the first one is, I love it when a plan comes together. We've had really disciplined strategy execution, and that's continuing the profit momentum in our business. Second one is profitability. Really pleasing that our focus on profitable revenue growth, high quality, high margin annuity business has led to this significant improvement in operating profit.
Can I say something? We've been here talking about these companies for so long. We missed this one. We totally missed it.
Zip over our head. I know.
No returns for us.
Now, I went into bites.
I
love bites. But this was a cable company, an engineering business. Suddenly,
they went into set-top boxes, which was a disaster. They went into Africa, was a disaster.
That's why I just completely wrote them off.
But that chap with his big chin, big forehead, he can do things.
And the fintech thing is it's a big growth industry, and in South Africa it's doing remarkably well. And I mean, I like capital appreciation, and I've liked it for some time. And this is one of the key competitors to capital appreciation in their terminal space. And they're doing a very good job. But fintech doesn't even feature in their results almost, because it's basically been Netstar. But Netstar is also a good business. They're doing what Karoo's doing. It's really pretty decent.
And, they've just come from nowhere, so watch it.
You know who else is hiding a nice little fintech business? Flash inside PEP.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Flash.
Flash. Trust me. I don't talk about it, but it's there, it's hiding, it's big.
Okay.
Truworths perhaps the best known for paying their CEO a very large pile of money every year, regardless of results. And then the trading update, which was, ouch, light on detail, but 0.2% growth locally means volumes went backwards. Should we be worried about other clothing retails? Pep said earlier in the week they were gaining market share.
Yeah.
We actually got the Fashini group this morning.
You should actually look at who's actually recovering from, quote unquote, I don't know, COVID, lack of growth, consumers not having money, blah, blah, blah. Go down the retail list. It's ShopRite, okay? It's Discount, Clicks.
Lewis.
It's Lewis. It's not any of the clothing retailers. Woolworths is the worst of them.
Where does this
Truworths is the worst
No,
of them.
Woolworths is not the
He's never
story.
looked at the local market. All of a sudden, our expert.
know,
Where do you get this?
I do have a
Chantal's
local business. I do have a local business.
No,
I
you
still
don't.
look at these.
But
I still look at these businesses.
Well, I don't know. My Fashini groups are up nicely this year, so
Well,
is Mr.
yeah,
Price.
I think Fashini Group is also benefiting from how diversified it is, and it plays in that athleisure space that remains very popular. And I think that they're doing a good job there. Their online platform is also pretty decent. I think if you go to Fashini stores, which you can compare to a Truworths store, that's where some of their weakness will also be. Because they sell a lot of the same stuff that you can maybe get very cheaply online. I don't do that. I don't do the Temu thing.
I don't do Temu either.
But
I once won one of these investment case study thingies because I did the Fashini Group. The Fashini Group's edge or moat is not actually in all of the things we've mentioned above, but actually the fact that the people that work there, the buyers, are second to none.
and they're quick.
They're
and they're
very
quick response.
fashionable. They're very good at timing, when to buy shirts and make them shorter.
They
or
manufacture
go-
locally.
They manufacture.
So
they're
they've
very
got quick
good.
response.
Yeah, so
We both out of this conversation.
We're out of this, David. We're just learning.
No, they have an incredible design team in Cape Town who sit and see what sells in the shop. And then they see, okay.
You're talking Fashini now.
Yeah, so
Yes,
they see
TFG,
like,
yeah.
okay, people like this pattern and they like this shape. So why don't we make this pattern into that shape and push it out in 3 weeks' time? So that makes them fundamentally different.
Okay.
But Truworths, I think, is the laggard and probably Woolworths.
Woolworths, we are still talking about 2016.
No, 2006 even. Then there was Sappi, much derided in this show, but a strong fourth quarter added some shine to an otherwise tough year. Here's CEO Steve Binney on sentiment and growth prospects.
The quarter and the year, we actually operationally we had a great year. 2023 was a difficult time for us, and market demand was impacted by the macroeconomic environment. But we've seen a progressive improvement as we move through the year, driven primarily by an excellent performance by our pulp business with strong demand, good pricing. The lower profitability you refer to relates to the fact that we closed 2 mills in Europe and we had to take some impairments related to that. But the underlying operating performance was very strong.
David, strong fourth quarter. Time to buy paper stocks?
No.
Just checking. You've been saying no for 20 years. Just checking.
Chris, we don't know what's going to come next quarter. It's such a difficult area to understand. And it just continues to disappoint you. You've got to kind of buy it when it's really bombed out. But the fourth quarter was good. Everything was in place. But you didn't see that headline, where their profits were down on the year. So
Yeah, I know. But there was some write-downs. They had some mill
it's a
closures.
difficult area.
The first 3 quarters.
Sappi is exceptionally cyclical. So if I'm going to go into paper, I'd go into Mondi. They're a lot less cyclical. Corrugated boxes, some structural support from massive e-commerce. It looks very cheap at the moment. Paper. Prices basically, it seems like at a
We're always
cyclical
waiting
low.
for next year with those
And at least you get a fat dividend with Mondi.
No, so 10 years ago, my clients in the forestry business got out and actually invested in avo and mushrooms. So that says everything you need to know about the
Evos
Any
and
stories.
mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Okay, note, in other words, good pizzas. Marion Roberts also spooked the market with an update that essentially said the company's survival was in the hands of bankers. Never a fun place to be. They also added that De Beers was reducing production at their Limpopo mine, that Marion Roberts manages diamonds, it seems, are not forever. Anyone buying a beaten down construction stock?
It's got a market cap now of 500-600 million.
I know, and the bankers own it.
I will buy Raubex, even though it's expensive. I'll buy Wilson Bailey Homes. I will even buy Avenge. I'm not touching Marion Roberts at this point in time. If you can't get a working capital facility, that means every single time you've got a cash flow mismatch, you have to stop your projects.
Yes.
You can't continue.
And phone your banker and
So
say, please, sir.
I'll lose the first 20% upside when they actually announce they have a working capital facility. Sure, then I will
You
consider
don't want to
getting
go
involved.
there. Not for that very reason. You know, one of the biggest dangers of construction companies is that they have to keep their skills.
Yeah.
And if you haven't got the projects, you're in trouble. You can't lay off everybody and then get a project and get them back. And it's exactly what Chantal says in a much more sophisticated way.
now you see why I take opportunity cost very seriously. I mean,
No, 100%.
you could put your money elsewhere, literally.
So let's quickly touch on Pan-African Resources, suspending Sudan, no surprise, buying into Australia, 1,000 kilometers south of the middle of nowhere.
No,
That's
thanks.
such a good company. Don't do it.
No, but we're good miners, we mine well. Come on, Chantal, you give it.
So yeah, I love Pan African.
Yeah, of
right?
course.
It's probably my preferred pick in the gold space. I would have loved them not to do it, but I'm not completely devastated that they've done it, because this company knows how to develop a mine. They know how to develop and build a tailings retreatment
And most
plant.
of it's gold on the ground.
They always come in under budget and in time with their projects. They've been invested in this company at an 8% shareholding since March. They know what's going on in that company, right? On the ground. So I am optimistic. They're also not betting the house. It's
Yeah.
not the biggest transaction in the world.
6% of share capital, not big.
Yeah,
And at
but
2,600
it
gold
is-
price,
It
it
starts
pays off
like
in
But
that.
it
3
is
years.
risky.
Come on, David, it's a gold market.
What did Woolworths buy
We go into Australia and we come out licking our wounds. You know, like Napoleon came out of Moscow, just, stay where you are. I love them as well.
Look, when you start referring to Moscow, then okay. Finally, according to the Associated Press, 43 monkeys escaped from a compound used for medical research in South Carolina. Have we not seen this before? Wuhan, just another horror movie. But not to worry, local police chief said the monkeys pose almost no danger, which is frankly still far too much danger for us on this planet, reading from pandemic lockdowns of 2020. Yeah, so this time it starts in America. Almost no danger.
At least it's monkeys and not apes.
It depends what they did to them in the labs.
It's the almost part that bothers me.
I'm gonna say innocent until proven guilty with the illness that they might bring to society. I'm happy for them.
I'm more worried that they might get disease from humans out there.
No, you guys have turned me. They're the ones at danger, and frankly, they're free. Okay, good on you, monkeys. Go run, monkey, run. We'll leave it there. David, Brad, Chantal, thank you. Everyone out there, have a great evening and an even grander weekend.